Stan Gibilisco here, W1GV Whiskey 1 Golf Victor. It is August 20th, 2013, 3:28 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I'm watching the bands a little bit earlier than usual today. Normally I do it at about 6:30. Now it's about 3:30 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. That would be 21. Well, actually now it's switched over to 21:29 Zulu. So what you're hearing now, of course, is the bulletin from W1AW, the venerable American Radio Relay League station in Newington, Connecticut. Not as good of conditions as we've encountered at times in the past on this band. The past couple of days have been a little bit marginal on this 14 megahertz band. But they're booming in plenty loud on 18 megahertz. Let's go watch 21 megahertz. There they are, just barely breaking the noise on 21 megahertz. So let's go back to the 14 megahertz CW band and do a sweep. First down. Down, down, down. I don't hear a signal at all. I guess I'm not real surprised by that. Let's open, well, no, let's leave it, leave the CW filter in. I normally look only on the CW and digital part of the band because I really have very little interest in single sideband. Well, now there's a pretty strong station. Let's see if we can get his call sign. There he goes. CQ. AE7PG. That would probably be in the western United States if he's in his call zone. For some reason I suspect Washington State. I don't know why. I guess that's just sort of what I always think of when I hear a really loud W7. I don't think of Nevada or Wyoming. Well, Wyoming is kind of too close to the Black Hills of Dakota territory here to... It's probably skipping over. So maybe Montana, no, that's too close. Idaho, possibly. Utah, possibly. Nevada, possibly. Well, oh, here's a signal. It's almost like if you hear a signal, you freak out here. It's like, wow, this is some kind of an event. Now there was, well, now there's a thunder shower not too far from here. It seems to be building away from us, though, so I decided I would risk connecting the antenna. It's one of those kind that you get over the Black Hills in the summer that doesn't really move anywhere. It just sort of morphs. There's your PSK signals in the... There are plenty of those. Now, I guess maybe there's just not that much interest in CW. I read in QST just this month, September QST, in It Seems to Us, I believe was the column, where they're talking about allowing higher data rates, which would create larger bandwidths for these digital, non-CW digital signals. And they're talking, the FCC may allow it, they may not. It seems to me, even though I'm a CW enthusiast, it's always been, it seems to me, that the CW bands and the ham radio bands, the CW sub-bands, have been disproportionately large considering the bandwidth consumed. It seems like it's always been like that, and today more than ever, because it seems like fewer and fewer CW enthusiasts exist, which is kind of a pity, because CW is, to me, like an art form. It's a really refreshing way to communicate, especially if you do it with a keyer paddle and not a keyboard. Now, as you can see, we're on 18 megahertz. W1AW is very loud, but now there must be a DX station under there. N5, now that, of course, a loud 5 has to be from Texas. There's no other way. I mean, there's just no other way that a loud W5 could... Okay, that's a K8 calling it OK1, which would be Czechoslovakia. Well, now they don't call it Czechoslovakia anymore, do they? Does that date me? I remember when, well, never mind. There are some signals on this band. There's a W8. Now that's interesting that we'd get a propagation that short of a distance. I mean, West Virginia, Ohio, Michigan on 18 megahertz. Well, now we're out of the band. Let's go up past W1AW. Let's see, there, W1AW right up here. Sort of the standard bearer. There's some PSK signals. Good deal. Oh, that sounded like an MFSK. I tested my MFSK interface just the other day to see if it would transmit the stuff, and it will. Well, now that's radio teletype. That's conventional radio teletype. The old RTTY. People still... Now, for some reason, my demodulators don't work with that on this computer. Now we're in the sideband part of the band. Well, let's just take a listen. I really have... I'll check for signals, but there's the top of the band. Let's go down 15 meters. Now we're not... Let's open it up. The noise level is pretty low on this band right now. That's unusual for this QTH. With all... There's something... Maybe it's a cell phone tower up the hill a ways. Somebody is taking advantage of this band. Let's see what that is. CO2, that's Cuba, not carbon dioxide. Well, Cuba is coming in on 15 meters, so we are getting some propagation on this band. Let's see if there's any... There's a phase shift keyed signal. It's weak, but it's there. There's a strong one. So there are people on this band. This is just basically a band watch. I'm not really interested at this point in calling any of these stations unless a really juicy DX signal comes in really loud. I remember once I worked a ship out in the Pacific, just off the coast, not in the Pacific, the Atlantic, just off the coast of Africa. It was on 40 meters, and I was using a kite-supported antenna, and that thing was 30 decibels over S9. It was like right down the pipe. I mean, don't you just love it when that happens? It is so cool. Well, now, 24 point, is it 880, 890? Just do a band sweep up here. I'm really not expecting anything. There's that static crash. If we hear it up this high, I'm really skittish about lightning anymore. I just as soon not get my station fried. I remember back when I was young, one time during field day in Minnesota, we had a thunder shower. Heavy thunderstorm, actually, and sparks were flying out of the back of the radio, and I kept right on operating the doggone thing. Not today. I guess old age makes you more cautious. Shoot, you'd think it'd be the other way around. Young people have so much more life to lose, but nah. I thought I was going to live forever. Well, maybe I will. Who knows? Oh, heaven forbid. Well, there we go. We're going to go back and end where we started, at least in terms of the station we listened to. W1AW Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey. Never hear it that way. I just think of A&W. Remember the old root beer? A&W root beer. Well, anyway, that is the root beer station that I worked at in 1977, 1978 as a station attendant. Fun time. We had thunderstorms there too, and we kept right on operating. I remember there were sparks flying out of the antenna tuner room. You could see the flashes. The phone would ring all by itself and there'd be nobody on the line. And I'd be sitting in the middle of the room with my head between my legs, hoping that I didn't get killed. Radios just kept right on pumping out bulletins about wave propagation most of the time. Good stuff. Stan Gibilisco, W1GV. Whiskey 1 Golf Victor saying 73 from the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, United States of America. Until next time, so long.